Hi, welcome to the webinar. My name is Ashutosh Gupt. I'm Senior Enterprise Solution Engineer with Sumo Logic. So as you know, today's topic is security analytics and monitoring, under which we'll cover most of the security aspects of how we in the Sumo Logic can help you out to make a more security posture better and understand your environment in terms of what's going on into your enterprise. Sumo Logic is a continuous intelligence platform, and it gives you a lot of insight and analytics about your environment. Uh, Along with security intelligence, we also cover a lot of things in terms of your operational intelligence, your business intelligence, and anything and everything which is going on into your environment across your logs, metrics, events, and traces data. So in terms of capturing the data, you can ingest the data from your any sort of sources, whether it's your applications data or your infrastructure related data lying into your any kind of enterprise, whether it's on a structured, unstructured data on your devices, your security tools. Once the data is ingested, you can we put a lot of tags or a lot of insight, and using our AI and machine learning algorithms, we get a lot of insight about the data with for you to get more better predictions and optimize and understand that what's going on into your environment. Now, pertaining to the personas and use cases, it varies enterprise to enterprise. Some people use it for their, as we said, for your totally from an IT operations perspective, or of course, the security understanding. Overall observability is one of our key areas where you can understand what's going on into your environment and make a use of it. We also provide a lot of business metrics out of the box, and also you can create business metrics to make more use of what's going on using a lot of a modern kind of dynamic thresholds through our outlier functionality we'll talk about. Now, if you talk about the how we do it specifically for security monitoring and analytics, we get the data from various sources, whether from your on-premises environment, your public and private cloud, or your SaaS-based application. We have a lot of integration using our cloud-to-cloud communication. And once you ingest the data, we put we get a lot of out-of-the-box content, as well as you can make your own custom environment to understand, analyze, and make more meaningful use of the platform. Then what happens is we have a lot of use cases. We provide a lot of audit and compliance kind of out of the box reports. We provide you security analytics in understanding things more deeper, understanding, visualize things more better, as well as getting the with the our out of the box correlation with the threat intelligence tables and databases. You get immediate insight about any kind of anomalies or any kind of threat which is going on into your environment. We also have a advanced cloud SIEM solution, which gives you a lot of insights and reducing the noise, coming out of the alert fatigues, and getting things more better in terms of making your most advanced cloud SIM solution. Now, if I talk about the challenges when people start making the SOC, the time to value is most important part of it, because most of the platform fails when you have to really get things up and running in shorter period of time. You have audit coming up, you have a compliance needs to be built in. you have a lot of not support for the modern application, the modern cloud environment. Then you have a lot of longer learning curve about it. Cost is one of the major factor which you have to also consider when you are talking about these kind of solution, because you have to get the things up and running in a faster period of time, and of course putting the less money and spending less money as well. Now if I talk about is specific to Sumo Logic, as we talked about it, a lot of things out of the box. You get security and threat analysis out of the box. You get a global posture of how organization across the worlds are doing, how things are working for them or not working for them. A lot of out of the box content in terms of our integration with major cloud providers like AWS, Azure, GCP. Uh, Getting the anomalies view, we talked about it, how the outlier functionality gives you a quick value in terms of understanding not only the static threshold, but understanding how from a normal deviation things are going wrong. All in all, it's a modern age solution to meet your requirement in a and getting up to the speed in a very less I'll say a period of time. uh, Advantages, as we talked about, of course, the kind of a coverage, we are born out of a cloud, we are native to cloud. At the same time, we cover everything from on premises to cloud in terms of getting the data from, right? Then we talk about deeper insights. We have a correlation out of the box with threat intelligence tables, and we get a lot of machine learning driven and baked into the solution to give you the advantage and understanding that how quickly you can analyze to find the anomalies into your environment. Of course, the solution are ready, built-in compliance. So you don't have to invest a lot of time in terms of finding the which certification I should go for first and which are not, right? So and also extendable to a lot of other SOAR or different capability when you grow up and mature to your or the security operations journey. We talked about it. We talked about it, how faster anomaly we can detect, what are the value you're getting out of it, what are the deep searches and the quick searches you can do it through the intelligence platform. And then using the log reduce and the log compare kind of operators, you can find things much faster than going through 1,000 pages of log kind of scenarios. Then as we talked about, we have out of the box integration with a lot of famous, tools and solution around the world. Whether you're public cloud or any kind of SaaS solution, specifically on the security side, we have more than 50 integrations, like your firewalls, your antiviruses, etc. And on the network and application or infrastructure side also, we have a lot of integration already built in, so that you can make use out of it rather than reinventing the wheel altogether every time. As we talked about it, rapid compliance readiness, we have out of the box certifications available, which will make your security posture better, and you can make a use of it in a very small period of time. Coming to the certification, we are most advanced or most most number of certification in across the industry. One which we talk about, a FedRAMP, which is having a US financial organization based certification, and it's which is you can say that it's very few organizations or have already achieved it. We use AES 256-bit encryption at rest. That means whenever the data comes to the Sumo Logic, we encrypt it with the high standards, and this keys keep on rolling. So you don't have to worry about how data has been, kept in outside your uh, premises, and how it's been, kept in under the Sumo Logic platform. Now, with that, let me move to the demonstration. And as I said, please feel free to put your question, and we'll take it at the end of the demonstration itself. Now, if I talk about the architecture of Sumo Logic, as we are a SaaS-based platform, but that doesn't mean we stop you to ingest the data from any of your sources, whether it's on premises, your servers, your network devices, your applications, etc. What you see here in this is we have two major method of collection. One is an installed collector, and another is a hosted way of collection. Install collector, as the name says, we have a small agent which will be running on your host devices, whether your servers, EC2 instances, and then it collects the data from those sources. We can also have this agent running on a central server, and then data can be pushed from a remote server to this particular machine where the agent is running, and then it can be sent to Sumo Logic through that collector. Now, coming to the right, we have a hosted way of collection. We don't need to install any collector there or agent there. What it does is it collects the data from your, say, AWS, GCP, or Azure environment, or for that matter, any of your SaaS-based offerings, and collect the data using the API method of collection, and send it to the Sumo Logic. What you do is here is, if, for example, you suppose you have S3 bucket, the data is residing there. That can be, we provide you the template. It can connect to your S3 bucket and get the data from there using the read-only permission to that particular bucket. And similarly, we have multiple ways of collecting the data. So all in all, the important point to understand is we can collect the data from various system in multiple method, and we don't restrict you to get the data into Sumo Logic from a different platform. With that, let me go to our demonstration system and show you a quick understanding of how we can get value out of the Sumo Logic platform. So I'll start with a scenario where a security operation engineer get an alert on a Slack message, say 3 a.m. Kind of a scenario, what we call it, in the night, and then you can see there's a security channel, sec operation high priority, where he gets a message something like this, a Trojan detection, where this particular event itself is giving you a lot of information. This is a correlated events. You can read it and understand that this is coming from multiple failed login which attempt which happened. It's a Trojan which is detected by our CrowdStrike integration, and also it's have a lot of high malicious score to this particular event. Now, what he can do is it has a choice, right? And the person who is getting this particular event can simply go and quarantine this particular host which is getting affected, right? I'll not do that. I'll go to the dashboard and I'll try to see that what is happening into the environment. Now, once the person click on that, from the alert itself, he can be taken to a investigation response console. Now, what it does is investigation response console gives you a quick view of a lot of thing, what is going on into the environment, and why this particular alert has been reached up to this his Slack inbox. Immediately at looking at this particular graph, you can see that there's a network or network CPU host activity, and at particular time itself, a spike in this event has occurred. A lot of network event which has happened in the last 15 minutes, and because that might be an issue. At the same time, he is seeing a lot of a, a load balancer across his environment, and then he's getting a lot of login from multiple places. This we have an integration with a Mapbox, and it gives you a street level kind of a view where you can go ahead and see that where people are logging from, what is going on into your environment, into different geography as well. Now, what is the benefit of this particular graph is in a different way. You can look into that security point of view, that where people are logging from. When you know that in a particular geography, people, you don't have a lot of people or admins logging, you can immediately find it out there's something, certain thing is going on wrong, right? And also at the same time, it gives you a lot of insight about from where people are logging, what kind of activities it's going on. We'll talk about it. Then we'll coming back to the same scenario, why things have been spiked up, what happened, why he got a kind of an alert, which create might have be a potential danger. Now, if you see authentication attempts over the AZs, right? So if you see that there is a spike, and this is what I was talking about, the our outlier functionality. With this outlier functionality, you can see that there's a graph which shows that there's a normal activities, normal authentication attempts which happens in a regular period of time, but something goes beyond the normal. Something goes, say, 34 times some authentication attempt happen, and that this is not a normal scenario at that point of time, at that point of the day. Now, this will give, and this pink triangle basically is an outlier functionality, and gives you immediate uh, immediate attention to see what's going on. You can click into this search in the graph and search in this in a multiple a new window, but at this moment I will have a more understanding of what is going on into my environment. Now, on beside this particular graph, you can also see that there is a threat intelligence indicator of compromise, which showing that there's a lot of unverified or a low and high kind of a threat which is going on, which is identified by CrowdStrike data, right? And now, if you talk about the breakdown by the resources on what resource things are happening, this also will give you a lot of details. Going below, IP anomalies, if you talk about, it's happening on a particular IP, and there's a spike happened at the same period when the CPU has been spiked up, or a lot of authentication attempts happen at the same time, of same point of time. So if I just hover on this particular graph, I can see that there's an IP on which this particular threat is happening. I'll make a mind map of it, and I'll go see on other panel as well. Going below, I'm sorry, going below, I can see that there is a data exfiltration happening on my database. I know that I haven't given the access to my databases externally, and then still I can see that things are going wrong into my environment, and then activities is much higher than what I should expect. Below, the graph will show you that what is happening versus last week versus now. So I can see there's a clear changes, which is for the data exfiltration, which is happening compared to the previous week. So I can, by looking till now, I can easily understand that there is something going wrong into my environment compared to what is regular. Now, coming to the this particular map, I can also see that there's a from where the IOCs are happening, which location in the from where the people are there may be things going wrong, right? And then I can go to the street views and then go see that there is something going on in a particular geography or not. Beside that, I can see that the threat intelligence table also have identify that there is a known IOC, known indicator of compromise happening on a particular IP. And I can quickly correlate that this is the same IP on which uh, I have found that lot of IP anomalies things are happening, right? I'll just copy this IP for this moment and then go back to my this particular graph where the IP anomalies trend is going higher. What I can do is I can quickly uh, click on this, and this will take me to the search. Now the same graph I'm seeing in a my Sumo Logic platform, and I can see there is a query, of course, and then it's happening and showing it in the same graph that there is a IP anomaly which is happening on this particular source. Now what I'll do is I'll remove everything from here and then paste my IP and see that what is happening into this particular time period. And then if I just let me put that back, and then let me search with that, what I'll see that there is definitely something happening wrong with this IP, and there's a lot of data resulting to this particular IP, which I can see is happening wrong. What I can do is to have a quick look of what is happening into my environment. I will make more deeper analysis. I'll go and see this data for last say range of plus minus 10 minutes, and then run it and see that what's going into an environment. Maybe once I have this, I have to go to the 9,954 logs lines, which may not be possible. I have a 399 pages. With the use of log reduce and log compare, this operators make my life easier. If I say the log reduce, what it does, it go and compare each and every log lines and giving me the result of understanding of it creates basically the signatures, and it's signatures of saying that this 9,575 logs are of this kind, and these are the variables which are in star. So this kind of say namespace is equal to JHWA, region is equal to US East, node is equal to IP this much. I have this kind of a log. What as a security engineer, because I'm trying to troubleshoot what is happening wrong, I may not be interested to understand that what with a lot of regular kind of a log. What I'll do is I'll do an ascending order, and I'll try to see that what is happening wrong. Quickly I can see there's a one or very few kind of events which is pertaining this kind of logs. And then if I have a close look into this, it shows me that there is something wrong happening, and there's a public key access which is happening on a root user on for this particular IP itself. And if you remember, this is the same IP for which the threat is happening. I can potentially understand that there is something wrong going on. So log reduce have made my life simpler. It has made the one page out of so many pages, and give me quick understanding of what happened and came to a root cause of what is going wrong into the environment. To make it double sure, I have a log compare kind of a operator where I can go and do a comparison between my same source category compared to say last 24 hours versus now. So I'll not do this much search. I'll go for say my 45 minutes and then try to search for this much period only. And if I say that, okay, because I know that 45 minutes back things were working normal, something else have happened within last 15-20 minutes. So if I, what like log reduce, log compare also give me an quick understanding of what has been changed. So if you see this percentage changes, like, plus 39%. So this kind of log has came in last 45 minutes. Previously it was not there. It has changed by this much percentage itself. Or if you see this, there's a reduction of this kind of a message, this kind of messages in last, compared to last 45 minutes versus now. And there's a percentage change also. Again, similar to log reduce, I'm more interested to know that what happened less number of time versus now. So if I have a close look again, this public key access, the same kind of a message which appear once I reduce, run the log reduce. This has have a potential number of times it happens, and there's a increase in the volume itself. So if I see that, I'm now double sure that why this Trojan detection on this particular IP is happening, and this is happening because of this particular reason. The publicly access is given to the root, and that's the reason from this IP things, malicious activities are happening. Now, understand this, how easy my life is, rather than going to the 10,000 log lines, compared to now, where I can, using this operator, I can simply go and find the root cause much faster than what it was there earlier. So with that, I would go back to my understanding. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. And we also provide, let me go to app catalog and show you that for specifically for compliance and security, we have a lot of applications out of the box. Now, as we talked about in the slide, these out of the box apps gives you immediate value, where you have a pre-built queries, searches, and dashboard. Once the data is into Sumo Logic, you can quickly build value out of it using these apps, and by installing it. And rather than creating your own stuff, creating your own dashboard, it will give you much faster time to value. Now let me go back to my presentation, and then if ask if you have any questions. So I can see there are a couple of questions into the question and answers chat box. What is the data retention size? So by default, we provide 30 days of retention. It depends on the organization to organization. You can extend it to any number of time. So we don't restrict you to say that, okay, only this much period you can keep the data for. Depend on your organization requirement. You can keep the data for multiple number of months or multiple number of years for that matter as well. We are auto scaling. We scale as you grow. So you can keep the data for any number of time you want it. The next question is about security specific content. So we talked about security specific content. Yes, we have out of the box threat intelligence correlation, as I shown you, which will give you quick value of understanding of how things are going wrong. Your IP based threat, your email based threat, or your URL based threat, or even for that matter, domain based threat across your data sources. It will be compared to the data in which we have integrated with CrowdStrike threat intelligence database, and then it will compare and give you immediate understanding of what's going on. Other than that, we have 50+ apps specifically for security and analytics, so that you can make good use of it rather than you go and reinvent the wheel, and understand that what's going on into your environment. Right. And then if you talk about the next question, I can see that there is something about external correlations. Yeah, same. So we have external correlation with threat intelligence and a mag box, which will have a quick value of understanding of how things going on into your environment, what if there is any kind of a threat or anomalies which is happening. And it will be like a real time, so you don't have to worry about how in your past or in your current real time environment how things is going on. So you can see that into your live dashboard, that things how things are being compromised probably. Yeah, so I don't see any more questions in the chat box. If you have anything, please put out now. Otherwise, we can close this session. Thank you so much for joining today. We have more sessions coming in, so we have a more discussions around it, and feel free to reach out to us at Sumo Logic to get into more interesting discussions. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.